Welcome in, everybody. This is another episode of the Underground Runaround, episode 14. I'm your host, Brad Ross. We got our co-host, Pav Daddy, and our big bad 101 Wander newsman, Brad Comensoli. What's up, gentlemen? How are we?
Good.
Real good.
Sorta.
Good. I'm good.
But, what the fuck is life worth without baseball? This is some bullshit.
That's my fault. That's my fault. I asked you both at the same time how you were doing, and then it got awkward for a second. Oh, yeah, baseball, though. Oh, my goodness. Are we going to get a deal or what? This new deadline. The owners, man. The owners kill me. They said last week. When we did the pod last week, had they already canceled games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The first two. Yeah.
So, they canceled games because they didn't come to a deal by their first deadline that they extended into a second deadline the next day. But here we are, Tuesday, March 8th, with a new deadline of tonight. And Manfred said on his stupid Bozo Bob here, he's still with us. He said in the press conference they weren't going to reschedule any of those games, and now they're saying that it's a possibility to play all 162 games now, as long as they come up with a deal tonight. In a few tweets I saw, it appears it's pretty much going to be like that one late night we had last week, where they're going to hype us all up and get us hopeful and then let us down, I'm sure, because they're saying every time the league gives something, they try and sneak something else in. So every time they budge, like right now it's with the luxury tax, they're at $230 million now. What was it, 220 before? I think they're up to 230 now. But now it says they're adding things that have not previously been discussed, and nobody knows what the full proposal is. So I don't know. We'll update that through the show if we get any updates tonight here on this episode. We don't have a ton of new things to talk about in the baseball world. However, we do have. We got a bunch of hobby releases this week in the sports cards world. We have opening day baseball. Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, officially? That's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not touching it. It's not my cup of tea. I know people love it when there's a Wander card in there, I assume, so I'm sure that's going to be all the craze. Also tomorrow, the big granddaddy of the week, I assume, is Contenders Football. That's a big time product. I have a case on eBay. If you, I'm gonna plug myself because I've actually never plugged my own fucking business on this podcast. We just use it to fund the podcast. So if you guys check this out before Wednesday afternoon, auctions end between like 12 and 3 p.m. Central Time on eBay. We're doing a full case, all hobby boxes. I actually got a few eBay questions from people asking if it was like a full case. Like, yeah, my name's Underground Case Breaks, not Underground fucking 2 blasters and a hanger breaks. Like, we're not doing that here. Yeah, so we got a full case up. It should be fun. It's the biggest gamble I've ever done in my business life to throw up a $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 case. They're going through the roof now, and you can't find them.
You should definitely do some single hobby box breaks of opening day.
Ooh,
I think that'll hit the spot.
All cards ship,
dude.
So make my shipping cost more than the entire product. I love it. I'm here for it. For those of you that don't understand, I run my business where I don't charge anybody for shipping. So the shipping's already calculated into my price. Because when I started, long before wax got out of control, we tried to give you the best value. We still do it. To this day, we still give you the best value. But I pay for someone to pack and ship cards, and I don't even charge the consumer for shipping. And when we have issues, we fix them. We got the best shipping department in the game. So if you're listening to this podcast and you never try to break with Underground, come check it out. Also, another big complaint I've been hearing, and I'm just going to say it because we're here and I didn't know this is where we were going, but it's the Underground Runaround. I'm going to call it the Jabs family, whoever those clowns are. I don't even know. Eric is the name I heard specifically. So shots fired, bub. 2 months to ship cards, and you're a much bigger breaker than I am? That's outrageous, dude. It's terrible. Do better business. You obviously have the money to hire more people to make sure the consumers get their cards. This podcast is for sports and the benefit of the hobby. And in an industry of rapid turnaround, come on, 2 months to ship cards? That's absurd. I always heard that turd, Filth Bomb, that guy. I always heard so much smack talk about him and terrible shipping and him getting on the scammers page all the time, but all it did was help him with his business, you know? There's no such thing as bad press, basically, because people get curious, like, oh, this guy sucks? Let me go see. And then they're like, ooh, something shiny. Here's some money. Now you're sucked in. So basically what I told the guy, somebody asked it in a group that I post my breaks in. I don't, the admin team asked me to be there, so I'm there for that reason, basically. And I don't get a lot of business from it, but it's a room of 16, 17,000 people, but it's just collectors. But someone made a post in there and they asked, they said, is it okay? Is it okay to have to wait 2 months to get your cards? Are you kidding me? Let's be better, Jabs family. And apparently there's a lot of people from years ago that don't like that outfit. I don't know why. I keep it to myself. I just call out I'm not afraid to call out bullshit. I don't have anything to lose. Like I'm one dude, you know, I don't care.
If that's the case, that's ridiculous. I mean, that's as bad as I've heard.
Right.
I've been a consumer of your case breaks, a few others, and if you're taking longer than a week to ship out cards, man, you're not doing it right. Plain and simple.
Right. And that's what I told the guy. I said, listen, and this isn't just me, and I don't know all the details. There's always three sides of the story, their side, and the truth somewhere in the middle. There's always that. So I'm not attacking this other outfit. I'm just saying, hey, if that in fact is true, be better and make sure you take care of your customers. But what I said was, there's so many good breakers out there. I've had other breakers on this podcast, so don't anybody listen to this don't go tag those clowns taking forever that I already mentioned and act like I'm attacking people, because we're friends of the hobby here at the Underground Runaround. This isn't a show to grow my business. That's not at all what this is. We're here to have fun. So have fun, help the hobby if we can, and talk sports, particularly baseball. And it's just wild. But I told the guy, I said, there's just so many good people doing it. If you're breaking with somebody, and just like you said, a week, that seems reasonable. It's more than I'd like, but that's probably a good cutoff. If it's taken more than a week, there's too many people in the break game. You could just go anywhere else. Like, just go somewhere else.
There's a lot of rooms out there.
There's
a lot.
So many.
I mean, we could do a whole podcast on breaking in groups and, you know, being a good consumer. Really, I mean, there's so many. You got to be careful of where you're going on Facebook and this whatnot thing. And I mean, there's a million things we could talk about there.
Oh, here we go. 6 minutes ago. Sorry, friends. We have breaking news. Breaking news. MLB's written proposal has been submitted to the union. This is per Bob Nightingale. Everything remains fluid as they negotiate deep into the night. I'm going to tell you a story for the audio people. I'm going to use my words in a sexy way. So now here we are. But the luxury tax is going to be $230 million. That escalates to about $242 million. I like that. Minimum salary starting at $700,000. That escalates to about $770,000. That's good. I like that. And pre-arbitration pool, $40 million. We're getting there, boys. We're getting there. I don't think those three things are gonna be enough to get it done. But we're getting there. What do you guys think about that?
How many teams were over the luxury tax number last season?
I don't know.
I think it was one. I'm surprised that they're so concerned with where the fucking luxury tax number is. on the top side versus what the minimum payroll is. I think there'd be a lot more focus on the minimum payroll. I'm kind of surprised because nobody pushes the fucking luxury tax, but maybe one team a year. So it's just I'm surprised. I'm surprised that it's not more focus on the minimum.
Well,
payroll.
I agree. I've been talking about that too with my friends. It's like these teams just they're losing on purpose. We've gone through it at Cubs fans, but some of these payrolls are ridiculous. I mean, under 30 million, it's an embarrassment.
It's that same argument I said last week about making an owner sell their team if they're not going to put a competitive product on the field. That's a disservice to the sport. It's a disservice to your fan base. You're treating it as a business, and while I understand that, winning is the only business in sports. That's why people watch, because they want to watch whoever they support win. Like, that's the business. Winning. It's a business of winning.
They should have like a rule where your payroll has to go up a minimum of the revenue sharing.
I don't know. I don't know if a minimum is the answer, because you could just sign, like, you could loophole that, like, just to hit the, how many teams would just sit at the minimum? And then you're setting the standard for this is the acceptable level of tanking.
Right now they sit below where the minimum could be. So,
I understand, absolutely.
So like if you had a minimum payroll of like 75 million, not even 100 million, just 75 million, it would affect a few teams.
I don't think there was a single team over the luxury tax last year.
Not even the Dodgers last year?
No, the Dodgers were from 2013 to 2017, and they paid $150 million in additional tax.
Yeah.
The Yankees were from 2003 all the way to 2017, and then again in 2019. They paid $348 million in total tax. The Cubs were over in 2016 and 2019, and they paid $11 million. The Red Sox have been over quite a bit. The Tigers of all teams were over a few years. The Giants, not when they won. The Nationals were. The Angels were in 2004. The commissioner's office redistributes this tax money in standard manner. The first $13 million will be used to defray clubs' funding obligations under the MLB Players Benefits Agreement. Of the remaining sum, 50% of the proceeds collected for each contract year with accrued interest will be used to fund player compensation as described in the MLB Players Benefits Plan Agreement, and the other 50% shall be distributed to the clubs that did not exceed the base tax threshold in that contract year. So it seems like they just split up that money, which is a pretty respectable plan. But I don't know. I don't know what I guess I wish I knew better why they want to raise it so high. Maybe so they can get bigger contracts. I don't know.
I get that. That's probably their intention. But the teams barely ever push that number anyway.
Right.
So looking at last year. So yeah, last year the Dodgers were at 266. So they would have pushed it. But then the very next team, the Yankees, were at 205. So you got one team pushing the fucking luxury tax. So if this team right now, the number, what is the, let me see here. What's the current luxury tax number?
It's in the low 200s, I think. 208, 206, something like that.
Yeah, so I don't understand.
210 last year.
210. So if the Yankees had room to spend more anyway, why didn't they? So why, if they increased that to 240, does all of a sudden the Yankees need to spend 240? So I would prefer to see a minimum pushed up.
Well,
it looks like
here it
You'd
says
have to set the minimum like 100 million.
I don't think we're getting a minimum, so you could just forget about it. Says the tax threshold, which was originally 117 million in 2003 and gradually rose to 210 million in 2021, has grown significantly slower than league revenues. I think that's the issue. It says between 2009 and 2019, the threshold rose 27%, while the average team revenue rose 78%. So basically, the players, I would assume, are thinking that the owners aren't spending enough money on talent in comparison with what they're bringing in.
So they're thinking that by increasing the luxury tax number, they'll be able to negotiate bigger contracts.
I think so. And actually, there's a little graphic I want to put on the screen from this article that we're checking out. It's on Sportico. Share screen. So YouTube people or audio people, we're at 16 minutes roughly. If you want to check this out. So here we go. This is what we have. This is the graph. So in 2009, this is how close it was. Average team revenue and the threshold. And again, most teams don't even touch the threshold, Pav. We just talked about that. But here's where it's at now as of 2019. It's a huge gap. But yeah, I would assume that's why the players want this number higher, so that they can get more of the pie. I don't know why that's got to be such a big point of contention, but I mean that's what we're looking at. So it's interesting. It's an interesting chart. But like we said, nobody was. The Dodgers were the only team over the threshold last year.
The Mets, the Dodgers, and the Yankees.
Oh, see, it's showing the Padres too. Then it says 5 teams just below: the Phillies, the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Mets, and the Astros. It says the Padres were over, and the Dodgers were over. Dodgers at 262 million. Looks like the highest payroll of all time. Hey, guess what? They didn't win either.
Oh, I'm looking at for this next season.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, this was for 2021. Yeah, last year in 2020 there was nobody. But yeah, it looks like there's been pretty much one team every year. Oh, tax payments by year. Oh, so that the teams get maybe multiple years to pay their taxes? I'm not sure. Or it just means nobody. I don't know. I don't understand what I'm looking at.
Okay.
But the MLB median salary has significantly dipped since 2015. It was 1.65 million. So that's all players in all baseball that accommodates for call-ups, superstars, everything. And in 2015, the average player salary was 1.65 million. And last year it was all the way down to 1.15 million. And we've talked about the revenue continuing to go through the roof. So player pay is going down and revenue is going up. That's a dead horse. I think we beat that pretty well to death. I don't know. But
I just think you'd make a bigger impact. Maybe the MLB's just like, yeah, fuck you. There's no fucking way we're doing a minimum payroll.
yeah, I don't think you're going to see it. I don't, but that is a good update. Hopefully we get another update before the show's over. Shout out to Bob Nightingale on Twitter, keeping us in the loop. I don't see any other baseball writer tweeting about it right now. I don't know who's all in the scene. But along with back to the hobby stuff, I apologize for that. We talked about Contenders opening day. Slow shipping on your brakes, friends. If anyone's taking too long to ship, just break with somebody else. I always tell people that ask about me or when people tag me in my business, I'm like, hey, listen, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I know that. Go watch a bunch of people, see what you like. See if the breaker's going to engage with the chat. I love engaging with the chat. That's how you get to talk to people, especially now that I use a website to do my business. So I don't really like talk to people when they pay. So I just show up when the breaks are full and then talk to people in the chat. But See if they engage with the chat. Make sure they ship fast. Make sure they ship good. If you have issues, how good are they about communicating with you? I spend so much time communicating with people. It's a big thing to me that I wish I didn't have to do, but it's a very important. So I'm glad to do it. But like sometimes it's like, holy cow, this is really what we're talking about right now. This is what you need from me. But hey, sometimes that's some people just want to talk, and I mean I'm here for that too. Some people want advice, but some people want you to do everything for them. So I draw a line, of course, but my inbox is always open. Always tell people that. Also, Origins basketball, I believe we do have some basketball this week. I lost my release calendar. Here we go.
Heritage is coming out this week too.
Yeah, Origins basketball, Playbook football, Heritage baseball, Finest WWE wrestling, Leaf Vibrance multisport on Friday. It's a huge Friday. 5 new products on Friday. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new products tomorrow. But they're all over. Contenders Football, Premier League Soccer, Topps Chrome Formula 1, Opening Day, WWE Women's Division, and some Star Trek stuff. Rittenhouse. Whatever that is. Shout out to the Trek people if you're out there. Because I'm sure you're out there. You know what I mean? Hey, yo. That was a nerd joke. But if that's what you like, I'm all about it. I nerd out about stuff too. So don't.
You're
don't get
breaking
offended.
Heritage?
I am breaking Heritage. I always break Heritage.
Didn't you say that's your favorite break?
No, it's my least favorite. But I did set up an overhead camera for Heritage High Number last year, just so I could have shipping open everything ahead of time. It made it literally saves 30 to 40 minutes a break, not having to open any of the packs. So it's I love the product. Don't get me wrong. I've always liked Heritage. I prefer Heritage. I prefer almost anything over Flagship, honestly. The problem in a break setting is there's just not a lot of parallels and not a lot of action. It's a good set builder product. It's great. It's great finding variations hidden away. All the autographs are on card.
Awesome autos.
All the red inks are always hand numbered. I love hand numbering. People hate it because some people hate it, and I've seen those posts throughout the years where people are like, "Why would anybody hand number it? Like anybody could sign it and hand number it." I'm like, it still has the top certified autograph, on there and all of that. So settle down. We just know which things get hand numbered and which things don't, and I think it's a neat touch. I like it better than a stamp. Okay, yeah, somebody numbered it. Maybe not the guy who signed the card, but they still got numbered. That takes extra care. Like, I don't know. I like the touch. I'm all about details. I'm very detail oriented, so I like those types of things. They're a big draw to me, but it's not an exciting break. Like, there's nothing exciting about actually breaking it. But you get the right things. There's some money to be had. And it's not a very expensive product to buy, even with the state of things now. So it's not going to be very expensive. Wander Mania is going to be in there. My dude Brett on Audio People 2350 on YouTube got a dual patch auto of Brizzo with the
How
solid.
can you not like Heritage, man? The hand numbered
with the solid blue Rizzo patch and a pinstripe Chris Bryant patch number 10. Beautiful card, Brett. I have some Brizzos myself, but I don't have a Heritage one. I have some Atomics. I have some Atomic Bowman Best ones.
I just had that one sitting right there. I was like, it's my favorite card that I have.
I pulled a dual Trout Pujols autograph and Heritage High Number last year.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That was freaking awesome. And then I pulled an Ohtani Redemption in the same case.
Ooh,
and dang. I'm pretty sure that guy, that was his first break with me. He was a dude on, shout out to Chris Day on Twitter. Shout out to Chris Day. He got
big money.
If it wasn't his first break, it was like one of his first few breaks with me. And I'm like, oh man, new guy, Heritage. If he doesn't like the product, like this isn't a good opportunity for me, to retain someone on a big hit. I can retain anybody with my charming personality, my good shipping. Take that how you will, but some people will not come back if you don't hit them cards. And I just think that's the weirdest thing. That's the only thing I cannot control in the business is what I pull for the customers. But I can treat everybody good. I can do everything I can to help them and offer them my advice maybe on what's a good value or, just anything. I can control everything but what comes out of those packs in the boxes. And so if people leave over that, it's like, damn, whatever, you just got to let them go. It's that old saying, you can't make everybody happy. And some people don't care about any of the other things. They only care about the hits. They don't care about any of the personal touch. Like I'm back to putting bubblegum in my packages. You want some fucking bazooka bubblegum? Buy a break. Buy into a break. I'm sending out gum again. We got it. We got the supply line coming back through, We had shortages
do
with
better when I cuss you out.
The supply chain. Yeah, say whatever you want. You're not going to make me blush either. So if you have anger issues and you want to scream at somebody, buy a spot, come in a break, and yell away. I might, mute you or turn you off, but I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm unflappable. So there's my, I just told everybody to come give me shit. And there we go. We'll see how that works out for me. But I have 100 people in the next break just calling me every name in the book. It's going to be awful. It's going to be awful. Tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. Central, Contenders Football. Football. Do your worst. eBay auctions end from 12 to 4 Central Time. Win a team, talk some shit. Only at Underground. Something like that. Get the promo going out. Whatever it takes. What else do we have? We have a huge week of cards. So, yeah. Go ahead, Brett. You look like you got something to say.
Yeah, big show coming up at Rosemont, Illinois. If you're in the area of, Illinois, Wisconsin, Indiana, it's worth the drive there. It's a monster show.
The Spectacular?
Yeah, the Chicago Sports Spectacular. And then even if you're not in the area, if you fly in, you can literally get a 2-minute Uber ride over there. Make sure you get a hotel that's right there.
That's the same place as the National, right?
Yep, same
place. So yeah, they got the
National,
hotel right across the street.
And it's a big show. This is a big show. It's not national big, but it's a good show. It's worth. And the autograph people, if you're into the autographs, their list is usually really good every time. So
what's the dates on that, Brett?
March 18th, 19th, and 20th. So not this coming weekend, but the weekend after. There
you go. It's a big show. It's a cool venue. And like Brett says, there's rooms and stuff right by the venue.
Do they still do commercials on TV for that?
I don't watch TV.
I don't either. Not that I know of.
Do you remember those commercials from when you were a kid?
I don't know.
Chicago Sports Spectacular.
I don't remember them, but that's pretty cool. We should get one to replay. I just don't remember it.
Yeah. Why do you remember that? That's the better question.
Because I was poor and we had to watch local TV.
That me too, bud. But damn, I don't remember all of that. I just remember trying to get them bunny ears to work.
So I get Eagle Man commercials, man.
Eagle Man's a classic. The Victory Auto Wreckers. But yeah, Eagle Man, the Crowell Company, the Lantern guy. Yeah, they had some good ones. Some lawyer commercials, always a classic. This is just local Chicagoland TV commercials from the 90s, early 2000s.
Yeah, they used to do a commercial for that.
Also, with baseball and those new proposals per Bob Nightingale, there's also they've already agreed, to the best of my knowledge, that they're going to ban the shift, which I don't know. This is for 2023. I don't know what that means. I don't think it means what everybody thinks, but I think like the minor league has in a few places have limited the shift. Like you can't be on the
That's
opposite.
the base.
Yeah. So I don't know what all it means. You can't, you know, you can't tell a first baseman that he can't play at second base if he, you know, first base takes care of itself. Second base kind of takes care of itself unless they say you can't go into fucking right field. You know, that's where you could limit the shift. And then obviously the third baseman, you know, doesn't need to be overplaying second base. But I have less of an issue with that than a lot of other things. And I don't like that either, but the people are talking about I think analytics people are upset about that, saying, "Oh, you're taking strategy out of the game." Well, you took all the strategy out of the game when you got rid of when you tried to implement the universal DH. So, just because the American League has analytics and whatever and uses a shift so that they can feel important about how they manage a game, none of that matters now. There's no more strategy in baseball with this universal DH. That's my biggest bitch. It really is. It's not so much that I want to watch a pitcher strike out and hit 100 for the entire year cumulatively. It's that it gets rid of double switches when your starter goes out and lays a fucking egg on the mound. It gets rid of leaving a pinch hitter in to play the field because now you don't have to pinch hit. You don't you have the stupid. I don't like the three minimum batter rule either. I don't like that rule for relievers because it gets rid of the lefty specialist. The one-on-one lefty matchup I like. I would have liked to see him do something about like how long it takes to do the pitching change. Like, hey, you can do the pitching change after every batter, but you get 2 warm-up pitches just to make sure you're okay with the surface of the mound. You don't get to do a full-on media commercial like, no, get your ass in that cart. That cart's going to drive you to the mound at 60 miles an hour. You know, you get on the bump, you throw 2 balls, and you're ready to go. I don't think the whole 3-batter thing, because then the pitchers just slow down. But now they're talking about the pitch clock too, which is another thing for next year. So pitch clock, banning or limiting of the shift, and then bigger bases. Oh my goodness,
I don't understand.
I don't like. That's my biggest. I would almost take
we talked about it a little bit. I think
the
it's
small
just
bases
gotta be for stolen bases
over the small bases and the DH, or the big bases and the DH are my 2 biggest complaints. And again, it's not even about the offensive side of the DH; it's about the strategy side of everything. So I don't really know, but the bigger bases is wild. It's to my understanding, they want to go from 15-inch squares, what they use now, to 18-inch squares. So from home to first base, that only makes it 1.5 inches closer. It's like you and I talked about earlier, Brett. It's 3 inches as a whole square. So you're going to split that difference on the north-south portion of that base. So it'll only be 1.5 inches. But once you're on the base pass, you've now made first to second and second to third 3 inches shorter. And in a game of inches where they're already reviewing plays, those plays are now not even close plays. 3 inches in a bang-bang type of game in the sport, that's like gimme calls or like can't miss calls. 3 inches. Oh, if you saw he touched that bag 3 inches, you know, he got to that bag, you know, before, you know, the guy, the second baseman or the shortstop is still has to go 3 inches to make his tag. Like, oh yeah, that's an easy call.
I didn't see. Was that the players' union that wanted it, or is it the owners that wanted the base?
The owners citing player safety.
Gotcha.
I think I'm saying that right. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but I think it's an owner's thing citing player safety, but we all know the ulterior motive is to try and
give a fuck about the safety of the
try
players.
and get more stolen bases. Try and make it but they're trying to spice the game up because little Timmy's got ADD and can't sit down and watch anything. And then everybody in our age group says baseball's boring. We won't watch baseball on TV, but we'll go to a game. I don't know. I feel like you're going to have those people no matter what you do. What do you think, Brett? Bigger bases.
I whatever. I don't care either way. I guess it doesn't. I mean, I think it's weird. I think the shift is demanding the shift. I don't know, man. Learn how to bunt and hit it the other way if you don't like it. Get a deal done so we can watch some freaking baseball.
I don't really have any issues with like banning the shift. I hate the shift. I get it. I really do. And I really think that people should bunt against the shift. I've always screamed that. But nobody wants to watch people bunt. And now that we have the DH universally, pitchers don't even. I love watching pitchers go up there and drop down a sack bunt. My favorite thing. Pitchers that can't, you can't even do your job. No, my job's to pitch. No, your job's to help the team win. And if that means fucking bunting that guy over, do it. Now we're just going to see a guy strike out in the DH spot instead of laying down a bunt because that's the game.
I wonder, who holds the record for the most sacrificed bunts in a season? That baby is not going down.
Never. That
Never.
That record will never get touched. Whatever it is,
not forever and ever.
Not happening. That person's happy wherever they are. Shout out to the single season sack bunt record holder. Good for you. Your record's never going to get broken. Same thing with whoever has pinch hits in a year. most successful pinch hits in a season. I doubt that's ever going to go down. So, outside of all of that, if we get the deal done, they're still talking about playing all the games, which Manfred said wasn't going to happen. Bozo backtracking Bob. Backtracking Bozo Bob strikes again. I just really want him to get a deal done.
Yeah, they said they'd start spring training Friday.
Friday, yeah. That's why they said that. So for anyone who doesn't know, when they came up with this new deadline of tonight, that's what they said. The new deadline of tonight was so that they could try and play all the games and that camp would start Friday. So if somehow you guys fall asleep and wake up to this wonderful news of there's a deal in place, spring training starting Friday, I mean, I'll take it because it's showtime.
So who's the slow starters? What stars do we usually see getting a slow start?
Rizzo.
Now it's going to be push. Yeah.
Yeah. Rizzo won't hit till the All-Star break now.
So it's so fun. The All-Star break, maybe August. Fuck.
I tell you what, these teams are going to have. They're going to be scrambling to sign some of these players.
Yeah,
there's
joke.
some good. There's some good players out there.
That is one aspect that's going to be totally fucking awesome.
We're going to have a special pod for that, I think, whenever that happens. Like one of those, just maybe like an hour pop-up one to cover free agency. But that is crazy because if they do start camp Friday, it's not uncommon for people to be unsigned when camp starts, but a lot, like we've talked about, a lot of these teams don't have their full roster ready, and I'm curious how many teams have kind of behind everyone's back, and players included, already have deals in place. Like, I wonder how many, like, my agent talked to the team. I didn't talk to the team. Like, yeah, I know you know what I mean? I wonder how much of that shit's going on that we'll never know about. It's just something to think about. You can't think that these big time free agents that are still out there, like Freeman and
Correa and Bryant, and you think question to you
allergies.
Guys is you think the Cubs are in play for any of these guys?
I mean, there was the Correa rumor.
They claim Rizzo.
I really don't want him. I'd love him to sign Rizzo because I don't think he's expensive.
I love Rizzo.
I think people are going to be shocked at the low number that Bryant gets. So I think I'm telling you, and I think if that's the way it plays out, then I think the Cubs can be in play. But if it's a big number, I don't think they're fucking touching anybody.
I think we're going to be surprised by how much he gets.
Maybe.
Because you just can't put a price on the way that guy carries himself. He's willing to do anything. He's willing to play anywhere. He's willing to bat anywhere. He won the MVP hitting out of the 2-hole. He wasn't even like a prolific run producer. He scored more runs than runs he drove in that year. He won the MVP. So he's just a selfless dude, and to see that out of a superstar caliber player, you don't see that very often. He's like more, I'm not calling him Ben Zobrist, but he plays that same type of way. He's like a superstar version of Ben Zobrist, where he'll play anywhere, do anything, play hard, just wants to put his head down and win the game. I don't know. Maybe I'm too much of a baseball purist. maybe they don't appreciate that as much as I think they do, but I think that's a huge valuable commodity. You don't have some prima donna fuck coming in here saying I only play shortstop. I only play third base. Like, you've had issues with players in that before, like all the way back when the Nationals picked up Soriano. Was that like their first year as the Nationals? And they wanted to move him to the outfield, and he wanted nothing to do with it. And eventually he went there, but I remember there being a huge stink about that. Like, Soriano wasn't even wanting to play baseball or something like that. I could be wrong. It's a long time ago. But you have those types of personalities and egos to manage too. So it doesn't seem like KB has much of an ego in that regard. So I think that's valuable. I think that's going to get him money because they know they're going to pay that guy and not have to deal with his bullshit, basically. But I could be wrong. Maybe they're just used to putting up with everybody's bullshit, that they know how to handle it. So I don't know. I think a guy that doesn't cause headaches is a good thing.
I feel like they're probably getting pretty close to a deal. If you look at like Ken Rosenthal and the Evan dude,
Yeah,
they're dropping a lot of specifics about the proposal, whereas that wasn't something that was really important the last few times they actually started posting shit.
Okay. Oh yeah, Drellich just started tweeting again. So yeah,
they
here
got a
let's
bunch of shit.
let's talk about this. Holy cow! Yeah, he dropped a ton of stuff. This is all the proposal details. However, just so you guys know, this is the MLB's proposal to the union. So, I don't know, where's the oldest one? He tweets weird. Okay, so the luxury tax thresholds we talked about go from 230 to 242 over a period of 5 years. This is for a 5-year period. The pre-arbitration pool is 40 million over the entire time. The pool counts against collective bargaining is 1.3 million per team. Minimum salary 700, 715, 730, 750, 770. He continued. A big issue is the MLB wants to add a new surcharge to the luxury tax. Right now there are 3 levels: base, first surcharge, and second surcharge. Now the MLB wants to put in a third to deter owners who have a mind to spend well above the pack. So they want to put in the MLB wants to put in a really high stiff tax. I don't see what the issue is with that. I don't see why the players would have an issue with that. What does it matter? The players get some of that money back if they pass the luxury tax cap anyway. Another major part of the MLB's proposal, MLB is trying removal of the qualifying offer to instituting an international draft. So they would get rid of the qualifying offer. For those of you that don't know, when you're eligible and there's requirements you have to meet to be eligible for a qualifying offer, if you sign with another team and your team that you played for the previous year gives you a qualifying offer, if you sign with another team, the original team gets draft pick compensation. For anyone who's not familiar with the baseball rules. So the MLB wants to get rid of compensatory draft picks in favor of having an international draft rather than an international free agent signing period. I have no issues with any of that.
That's pretty interesting, having an international draft.
I think that would be incredible.
Honestly,
I love drafts, and baseball drafts are wild because you never know what you're going to get. So why not just draft from the international? You have all the South American places to draft from. You have some of the Asian places to draft out of. I don't know what Europe would bring to the table, but you might be able to sneak some European ball players in there too. Who knows? Could be interesting, but it would obviously definitely be mostly South American and Asian. but it would be big time, really. Some other proposals. All rule changes MLB would want could be expedited, not just select ones like the pitch clock, larger bases, and shift. Can't be expedited in season, only in off season. Draft lottery at 6 picks. MLB was at 5 previously. So what is that? Only 6. Oh, the lottery's only 6 picks. The top 6 picks. I don't know anything about that. That's all new to everybody. Players can be optioned 5 times before being exposed to waivers. Oh, that's going to be a big time fucking hang up. It was 3 before, if I'm not mistaken. So once you, well, okay, so again, we have to explain baseball to people. I don't know if our listeners know all these things. And baseball has the weirdest roster rules. So once you hit the 40-man roster and you get called up to the big league team, you can get sent down 3 different years of your 7 years of team control. You can get sent up and down. It's like an option. I'm sorry, 3 like total times up and down, unless there's injuries and there's other stipulations. It says players can be optioned max of 5 times before being exposed to waivers. So once you run out of options for a player and you go to send them down that next time, you have to send them through irrevocable waivers where other teams can claim them before they can go back to the minor league. So say your superstar player is back healthy and your low man on the totem pole's out of options, but he's clearly the guy you have to get rid of. You got to send him through waivers. So the MLB wants more player control. That's all that looks like. And if that's something new they're just now talking about, God, that's going to fuck things up. That's going to fuck things up bad because now they've already kind of backed off of getting the free agency earlier. But here we are with we want to control you more. You're
going to have a lot of those. It's going to create a lot of those guys that come in when they're 27. And that's when they finally play a full season. And it's it's pretty fucking weird.
This is weird too, and I don't understand how this draft is supposed to work. Because the next thing it says, small markets can pick in the draft lottery for 2 straight years before sliding to the 10th pick. So does that basically mean you can't tank, or even if you suck, you're not going to keep getting good draft picks? Because the Tigers get a good draft pick every year.
Right, so you can only be in the lottery twice.
Right.
And then you get knocked down to the 10th pick.
It says large markets can only pick 1 year in the lottery before going to the 10th pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how that would all balance out, because then you have to set a line on what's small market and what's big market. And then if all those teams like go into the lottery, what are you going to have, the World Series champion with the lottery pick because all the other teams are ineligible for a lottery pick? It seems very complicated. I see what they're doing there, though, because they clearly want to curb tanking. That would be the only reason to put in you can only have X amount of lottery picks. On service time, top 2 Rookie of the Year vote getters can get a full year of service time. Okay. A team that brings up a player for opening day can net 3 draft picks over time, 1 pick per year if that player does well in voting. What voting?
Like for Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, then what afterwards? Fucking MVP? I don't understand that. Huh. Just trying to break all this down. I don't quite understand all of it.
The option stuff drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I wish the one thing as a fan that also drives me insane is we saw it with Chris Bryant. The dude was ready to play on opening day. Get him up there. Wander Franco was ready to play last year.
Yep.
Get him up there. Bobby Witt should be on an opening day roster this year. I get taking your time to develop these players, but give me a system to get these guys. I want to see the best talent playing on a team as fast as possible.
Your gripe is the same as mine. If they're ready, and service time should not be what keeps them from going to the big leagues because you want that control over your player. I agree with you 100%. There should be some sort of neutral arbiter like they have for salary arbitration that says, hey, no, cut the shit. We know why. This guy shouldn't be down here.
I
Get
mean,
him up there.
it hurts the product too. Like these owners, give me the flashy guy to look at, the young kid. Maybe he busts out, but I mean, if they're ready. Imagine waiting on Juan Soto to come up in the league for 2-3 more years.
He only came up because of injury.
Give me the best players.
He came straight out of Double-A. I don't know. Not a lot of people remember that. I remember that clear as day, because he came up because of injury, and he forced his way. He said, "Nah, I ain't going down. Like, nah, I'm here now. Now I'm here. Keep me here."
It really changed because that used to be the norm. You know, like your hitters would come out of Double-A and your pitchers would come out of Triple-A.
Yeah, that Moneyball type stuff really did change, taking more time to develop players. But I get giving them a couple seasons to develop. But when the guys are ready, I mean, come on. I mean, Wander Franco's a perfect example. Chris Bryant and Bobby Witt. I'm sure the Royals will hold on to him, and he won't be on an opening day roster, and they'll bring him up whether it's into this season or maybe even into next season. You don't know. Give me the best players.
Yeah, I would think if you don't see Bobby Witt this year, something's wrong.
That's for sure. What about some football news? How about your Packers, dude?
I don't actually understand. So I don't know if Rodgers signed a new contract or not. Nobody knows. He said all that contract shit's bullshit.
I saw that tweet.
So I don't know.
It's so weird.
I don't know if what he's back for is just this year, or if he signed a new deal and he's saying the terms of the new deal that were reported of the 4 years, $200 million are wrong. I don't know I don't know. So at least for next year, he's back. And I believe they franchise tagged Devontae Adams.
Yep.
So that's awesome for me and the lack of Bears division titles in the near future. So that's really good. For me, for you two, not so much. Best of luck to you. Bigger news than Aaron Rodgers, though, I think, is the Broncos.
Yeah, that's a huge deal.
I think the Broncos gave up way too much. Wait, they gave up 4 picks, a defensive lineman, a former first round drafted tight end, their quarterback, to get Russell Wilson and a 4th round pick. So they gave up 4 dudes and 3 players. So they gave up seven bodies essentially to get 2 back. And how old's Russell Wilson? He's got to be.
I was just pulling that up.
He's got to be starting to get up there, and he only has 2 years left on his deal.
He's 33.
So they traded all that for a 33-year-old quarterback who only has to be there for 2 years.
Yeah, they're in a win now mode. I like Russell Wilson, but that is a lot.
I've never been a big Russell Wilson fan, and I'm not saying that he's not good or any of that. I'm not at all saying that. I've never been as impressed as everyone else, and I don't know why I feel that way. But I with that being said, I feel like the Broncos gave up a ton for him. We'll see how it plays out.
I don't know. It's like who gives you a better chance to win, Matt Stafford or Russell Wilson?
Matt Stafford. I think Matt Stafford's a better quarterback than Russell Wilson. Because I've watched Matt Stafford play a lot more football, though.
Isn't it funny, how I don't know, how under the radar he was for so long playing on the shitty fucking Lions? That poor guy, dude.
The pit of misery.
He was Matt Stafford was a huge quarterback at Georgia, though.
He always put up numbers.
Yeah,
if you look at his NFL numbers, and they're fucking good.
But the Lions don't. The Lions never had a running game either, though. To be fair, Stafford be throwing the ball 60 times a game.
Yeah, but everybody does that now. The whole NFL's fucking the idea of 4,000 yards being this miraculous number. It just doesn't exist anymore.
Oh no, not at all. Yeah, now it's like 5,000 is where you need to be.
Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy because you get guys that throw 3,000 yards and they're just a mediocre quarterback. It's holy fuck, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Russ has always had, and don't get me wrong, I'm not shitting on Russell Westbrook. He's a great quarterback. I just am not impressed by him.
Good basketball player too.
Baseball player, right? He's drafted
Russell
by
Westbrook.
Wilson. Yeah, same thing. Same shit. But when the Seahawks were killing it, they had a fantastic running game. They had a fantastic offensive line. They had some good receiving weapons, and they had the fucking incredible defense. They had a legitimate dynasty-like team. They were stacked and loaded in every conceivable way. And Wilson never had to be a superstar. He just had to make all the plays. And he made all the plays. There's no doubt about it. And you saw, like, last year he didn't do so good. The team didn't do so good. And it wasn't that he was just terrible. It's just he didn't have a line. Like, Aaron Rodgers never had an offensive line, ever. He had 4 backups playing with him most of last year and still puts up numbers. So, I don't know. I'm not... It'd be interesting. Really interesting. Denver's in a good place, I think. But they traded Von Miller. They got some... I don't know how much play in the draft the Broncos have this year. Like, they traded Von Miller. I know they got some stuff for him, but then they gave it all... I don't know what all they just gave to Seattle. They gave up a lot to Seattle. So, it's interesting, but that's what we get to talk about right now because baseball's locked out and we can't talk about these free agents. I don't care about football at all right now. It's March. It's March. Football, I don't give a fuck about football until September 1st, maybe. And really, that's just when baseball season's really heating up. So, I don't know.
I just have nightmares about quarterbacks because the Bears don't have one. I mean, maybe Fields, but when you look at the all-time leaders with the Bears quarterbacks, it's pretty disturbing and sickening.
Yeah.
So you're spoiled with Rodgers, even if he's just coming back for a year.
Even Favre before that. Man.
Oh, I know.
In my whole life, I've only had 2 quarterbacks. In my whole life that I remember. Like, I was born in 90. Obviously, Brett Favre wasn't there. But by the time I started watching football, like, I remember when the Packers beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl in 96, which was early 97. I remember that. I was at my Aunt Irene's house, who was ironically, literally, her house was down the road from where I live now, and that's just a fluke that happened. She was my godmother, is my grandma's best friend. We were there. I was always dominated by females growing up. I have 2 sisters. Dad worked all the time, always around ladies. So the fact that I got to watch the Super Bowl because that's like the pop cultural thing to do. It wasn't because I got to watch a football game. Like no, it was because the ladies wanted to watch commercials. And I remember specifically that Super Bowl, I believe they had the commercial with the mosquito eating all the Tabasco sauce. I don't know if you guys remember that. The dude's eating a piece of pizza, yeah, with Tabasco sauce, and then the mosquitoes like biting them and blowing up. I'm pretty sure that commercial's from that Super Bowl. And then you got Brett Favre running across the field with his helmet, which now as an adult, I have a signed 16 by 20 of that. And then I got my man Aaron up here with the 11 by 14 from his Super Bowl. Love that movie. Oh man. So yeah, my whole pro football watching life, I've only had to watch 2 quarterbacks. And that's a great. And
you're so lucky, man.
But I get it's not even lucky because all I do is take shit from other people who talk about Tom Brady and talk about everything Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre didn't do. I'm like, what has your team like? It's just so hard to just even have conversations with people who aren't logical thinkers. Like, I'll give you any argument that makes sense. But when you're just talking shit to talk shit, I don't have time in my day for that unless I am sitting back with my feet up, getting a little fucked up and, just unwinding. But like when I'm like, I grind all day. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to be here. I got to get this done. I got to get my workout in. And then I got some stupid fucking troll on the internet running his stupid little fingers just to get a rise out of me, and it works every time. It fucking works, So,
hey, just remember, next time you get a rise, you could have this list. Jay Cutler is your number one.
Hey, Jay Cutler, love Jay Cutler though.
Jim Harbaugh,
love Jay Cutler.
Love Jay Cutler.
Guess
I'm
who's
a Bears fan. I love
Jay
Jay Cutler.
Jay Cutler, gunslinger extraordinaire. Mitch.
Trubisky is number 5 on
Mitch
the Bears
is a
list.
stud.
And this is why I want to bring up Mitch, because he's a free agent, and I actually hope he gets a starting quarterback job, because
They should bring him back.
I want to see how he does, because
Bring him back for a year, because listen, they fucked up last year. You can't ruin. Okay, Fields. I don't know much about the guy. I hate Ohio State. I don't like to watch them. Urban Meyer. Before that, they're a fucking nut. Oh, I love Buckeyes. Cool, idiots. That's what you're like. Oh, jeez. Ohio sucks so bad that their premier college is a fucking Acorn or a Buckeye, whatever that is. Who cares? I mean, who cares? Ohio sucks. Sorry, Ohio. I'm not sorry. Your state is just slightly more miserable than Indiana, and that's all I got. I live in Indiana. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just saying your state sucks too.
I'll say we're better in Ohio.
Okay, Pav said it. I'm with it. Sorry, Ohio.
I'm not getting involved. I'm partial to this.
Listen, Illinois. You got your own problems. You should just keep to yourself. When you guys can pay your lottery winners out in a timely fashion, then you can come over here and talk with us.
The best
Midwestern
thing,
Bible thumper states.
The best thing Indiana or Ohio has to say is like, we border some other states that are cooler than us. That's all we got.
Oh, my goodness. I don't even know where we were. What were we talking about?
The Bears fucked up.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
When they fired Lovie Smith.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. They fucked up when they fired Lovie Smith. They fucked up when they refused. No. They fucked up when they refused to pay Robbie Gould. And they fucked up when they wouldn't let Urlacher come back for a final year. And then I don't know how they lost Peanut Tillman, but those guys, and Robbie Gould's still playing football. And the Bears when they had a few good teams a few years ago, they didn't win because special teams. That's what the Packers deal with. So trust me, special teams is so goddamn important that you wanted to skimp out on a few dollars for a kicker, and then you got Cody Parkey. How'd that work out for you? Idiots. Robbie Gould is as fucking sure-footed as they get in football. Yeah, he's not going to kick a 60-yard field goal, but he's going to hit a 45-yarder in the fucking snow for you. No problem. When you need it. So, the Bears get everything they deserve for that. They can't draft. They clearly don't know how to make personnel decisions. And they have no loyalty to the players that have been franchise players for them. Poor Bears. Poor Bear. It's almost like I feel sorry for him, almost. And then, like, how they drafted Trubisky. They skipped out on Deshaun Watson and Mahomes and traded a ton of shit to jump up and draft that fucking quarterback from North Carolina. I don't care if that dude was the Michael Jordan of football. The fact that you took a quarterback from North Carolina, like that, come on, they're barely a Division I football program. Barely.
Dude, there was
barely. He barely played. He only played at 1 year?
Yeah. Not many games.
Yeah. Get the fuck out of here. My man Mitch.
Interview.
Oh my goodness.
He did. Remember, they used to do the interviews with Gruden.
Yeah. Yeah. I do.
So he did an interview with Gruden, and he didn't know what a hard count was. And I remember watching that, and I'm like, oh fuck, here we go, man.
Wow.
We're getting a fucking quarterback that's coming through the NFL that doesn't know what a fucking hard count is. This is trouble.
Every time I start to feel bad about myself being a Bears fan, I just say I could be a Detroit Lions fan.
I agree. That's fair. They ran two of the greatest positional players out of the league in their prime, and Calvin Johnson and Barry Sanders.
Calvin Johnson was probably the best fucking wide receiver ever.
Was he 30 when he retired?
Yeah, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Number one wide receiver in all of football still.
Him and Stafford going on, just fucking killing it. And then Barry Sanders, before my time. How terrible of an organization are you that you those guys didn't even hold out. They didn't demand a trade. They're like, listen, we've been getting the shit kicked out of us since we've been here. We're just going to call it a day. How about that? They literally destroy your will to play the game. That's how bad Detroit is. Like, the players don't even want to play anymore. They're like, we don't want to go see greener grass. Like, we're just so miserable playing this game that we grew up loving that we're in our athletic, physical, human peak primes. We're just going to quit. We're done. So shout out to Barry Sanders, Megatron. You guys did the best thing for yourselves, I assume. I hope you're happy. That's all. That's like, that's why I just hope when anybody does stuff like that, when you retire early because the concussions or the whatever, the CTE stuff is becoming more prevalent now, or like mental health with Simone Biles in the Olympics. I have no issues with any of those people like packing it in. The only thing, if I were to say anything, is just I hope those individuals, any of them, just don't regret skipping out on those opportunities, because you can only compete at an elite level for a finite amount of time. You're not promised that you're going to be good in a year, or that you're not going to start, you can work as hard as you want, but at a certain point you'll know when, like, damn, I'm not as sharp today as I was yesterday. And then you're like, damn, I'm not as sharp as I was a week ago. What's going on? For baseball purposes, these balls I used to crush, now I'm not picking them up as good. Whatever the case may be, it happens to everyone. It happens to everyone. That's that old saying, everybody went out to the park and played baseball for the last time and nobody knew it, So I just hope those people don't regret doing those things. But I have no problems with them doing it, especially when you're playing for the sorry-ass Lions. You get fucking drafted by the Lions, you might as well take your signing bonus and retire. Oh, my God, what are you going to do? Get your ass kicked for a couple of years and then decide you don't like football anymore? I don't. Those poor guys. The Lions ever going to win a division at anything, ever?
No.
They're bad,
No.
man. They're so bad.
Okay, I got a question for you now, Brad, too.
Yeah, let's go.
So I used to watch UFC when it was free, but most of the stuff's pay-per-view. I know you're into it. So
Yep.
last weekend.
Hang on. I got Fight Pass. I pay for that shit. I pay for the ESPN Plus.
How much does that cost? How much is the Fight Pass?
It's $100 a year if you pay annually, and you
That's
get
not
access. Bad. You get access to UFC's entire library, and after a certain amount of time after the pay-per-view, they'll actually put the pay-per-views on the platform. It's great, and they have they do have programming too, and all other, like, I'm a huge combat sports fan, so they have like Chael Sonnen has this thing called Submission Underground, and then they have like smaller MMA promotions for like up and coming like talent, like baseball people, like prospects, except you can actually watch these young fighters. And it's hard to determine with some of them the competition they're facing, especially if they're steamrolling guys. It's really hard to tell, like, is this guy that good, or is the guy he's fighting terrible? So there's those types of things. But I'm locked into all of that. Go ahead with the question, though.
I was just, who was the big fight this past weekend and who won?
Oh, we had Street Judas. We had Street Judas Jorge Masvidal get absolutely worked by Colby Covington in the main event, and it was exactly some MMA guy on Twitter. Boring. No, it was actually a good fight. Not boring. Not boring at all. But
it's Colby Covington fucking putting him on the ground. Masvidal, I don't know. He's pretty much done now, huh?
Masvidal hit him with one shot in the third or the fourth round. Hit him with his best shot. Picture perfect shot. Now, for anyone who doesn't know this, Jorge Masvidal is an absolute legend of street fighting in the early days, and he is 100% a boxer. So he
started with Kimbo Slice, right?
Yeah, he was around. Yeah. So Masvidal fought Usman twice, who is the welterweight champion. Masvidal got the first fight. He took it on short notice. So then he lost that fight by a decision and was like, hey, I lost this fight on 6 days notice in a decision. Let me have a shot with a full camp and I'll fuck you up, is basically what he said. So Usman gives him a shot, and Usman's an all-around fighter, but he's absolutely a wrestler with a wrestling base. And Masvidal's a stand-up guy with really good hands. And they do the second fight. I think it was like... it was some time. Like, there was some time between the fight. Like months, 8-9 months in between those fights. And the first fight, they went the distance, and it wasn't a close fight. Usman won every round, I think, if I'm not mistaken. The second fight, Usman doesn't even fuck with him. Doesn't even take him down. Stands up with him. Stands up with them. Second round, knocks him out cold. One of the most iconic pictures in MMA history. The boxer, the elite-handed boxer, getting put out cold with this just gigantic spray from this perfect punch by Usman. And it was early in the second round, like the first minute, and somebody had dumped water on Masvidal in between rounds. Because for those of you that don't know, like they used to put like Vaseline on fighters, and now they're not allowed to do it because the MMA involves grappling. And I think it was BJ Penn and George St. Pierre, where George St. Pierre was accusing BJ Penn's corner of rubbing Vaseline on him so he couldn't grapple with them. And now they can't do that. But they poured some water on Masvidal in between the rounds, and they're like, bet you wish you wouldn't have done that, because the pictures. I got to see if we can find the picture. It's pretty iconic. Usman Masvidal KO.
I need to get back into watching. I used to like I said, I think when it was back on Spike, and I used to watch all the time, but when it was free. But since it's gone mostly pay-per-view, I haven't paid to.
It's actually, and see, I would almost disagree with you there. It's almost more accessible now than before because there's so many more events. The thing is, they just keep the best fights for the pay-per-view. So there's usually about one pay-per-view a month. And that's how it was before. But now you get fights like every weekend. But this is the shot, man. Oh, cool. Cool shot. But I mean, it was an absolute perfect punch. There's just this gigantic spray coming off him. It's just one of those magical things. You don't see it like that. And he was out cold. I mean, the ref's like, hey, that's enough of that. We're done here. But anyway, back to last weekend's fight card. Covington and Masvidal used to be friends. There's video of them being friends. And then they had a falling out. Whatever. Colby Covington is an absolute asshole. He's the way he presents himself now, he's not a good human being. The way he comes across. But most people, especially casual people, do not know that that's all an act. It's 100% an act. I gotta bring this up. It was back in 2017. Okay, so Colby Covington had been in the UFC for 3 years. And to that point, he was 7 and 1. He was 7 and 1 in the UFC. He was on the last fight of his contract. 7 and 1. It's fucking fantastic. The guy's 17 and 3 now. He was 7 and 1 at the time. He was 12 and 1 with his overall record. The UFC was not going to re-sign him. They said, we don't like how you fight. Said, you're not. He was submitting, and it wasn't even decisions. He had 2 knockouts and 3 submissions and 2 decisions. So 5 of his 7 wins were finishes, which is a pretty good rate. It really is. Like, people don't understand how hard it is to make another person tap out or knock them out or get the ref to stop it. A lot of fights go to decision, especially the way combat sports are nowadays, where a lot of people want to be smarter about. They don't just want to go in there and play rock'em sock'em robots for mental issues down the road. Those are the best types of fighters to watch. I want to watch 2 guys go in there and just throw the most malicious, untechnical punches you've ever seen with these big looping bombs. I want to see all of that. But they basically said, look, dude, no matter what happens, we're not signing you. You're not putting asses in the seats, blah, blah, blah. You know what he does? He goes WWE on everybody. So he goes down to Brazil to fight Damian Maia, who at the time was on top of the world. I don't know exactly what his ranking was going into that fight. But he had just come off a loss to Tyron Woodley for the championship. So Damian Maia was coming off a title fight when he fought when he fought Covington in Sao Paulo, Brazil, which is where he's from. So he's fighting in his country. Colby Covington goes in there, just puts a pace on him that nobody can keep up with. Just absolutely destroys him in the co-main event. Won 30-26, which means he beat Maya so bad that in one of the rounds, a referee decided that it was a 10-8 round, which means you got pretty fucked up or you just got dominated. Then he gets on the microphone after the fight, calls everybody in Brazil filthy animals, calls them all fucking dirty, filthy animals, and they have to escort him out of the country. He got so much heat from that. So he just changed up his persona, and I blame this all on Conor McGregor. Because Conor McGregor is the... Chael Sonnen is the original shit talker. Conor McGregor is the guy that took it to the next level. And the problem is Conor backed up everything he did. Everything he said, he backed it up. He's so good. And I was not a big Conor McGregor fan when he came. I'm like, who's this little fucking dude talking shit? Like, so Colby does all this shit. It's all an act, and he did it to save his job. I cannot fault any human being who does what they need to do to put food on their plate. I got no problem with it. The stuff he says, though, is wild. It's absurd. But that's the stuff you have to say now. You have to have the shock value. You have to do it, because that gets people to go, oh. And if you look at it from a views standpoint, the night or the morning after the fight, the UFC puts their post-fight press conferences up. Colby's press conference had 3 times more views than Masvidal's. Like, he's a draw, a legitimate bona fide draw, even if he's not the most exciting style of fighter, because he's not a power puncher, but he can stand up. Like, him and Usman fought twice, both times, or I'm sorry, the first time Usman finished him late in the 5th round, and the second time was a decision. And in the first fight with Usman, going into the 5th round, one ref had it 3-1 for Colby, the other ref had it 3-1 for Usman, and the third judge had it 2-2 going into the 5th round. It was an extremely close fight. Extremely close. And then the same thing in the second fight. He's the only guy who's been able to get within distance of knocking off Usman, who's just incredible. And he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez in a boxing match, because all these fighters want to go fight these top-tier boxers and get these ridiculous paydays. Conor McGregor started that. He got Floyd to get in the ring with him. Made a ton of money. Now Ngannou is going to box Tyson Fury next year. Ngannou's very disgruntled. He's the UFC heavyweight champion. He defended his belt. He needs a knee surgery. The UFC has a championship clause where if you win the belt, they automatically add a year to your contract. They add a number of fights or a length of time. So Ngannou's using this knee injury to he has no more fights on his deal, and he's not re-signing with them because he wants more money. And the UFC's not going to let him go box. So he's using this knee injury in rehab to get out of this. They're just holding the heavyweight division up. It's pretty hilarious because the fighter pays a whole nother issue. But it's wild. So he's going to box Tyson Fury for a shit ton of money. And he's not going to win. And Usman's going to go box fucking Canelo Alvarez, and he's not going to win, but he's going to go get a ton of money. Like, I can't. These guys are all turning into entrepreneurs, rather. They're all turning into prize fighters. The UFC, once McGregor got to where he is, it's no longer about the true sport. It's not about that. It's with every sport, every professional sports organization, the natural evolution turns into a business. It's what we're seeing with the lack of loyalty for players in NFL, NBA, and the MLB. That's what we're starting to see in combat sports now, because these other promotions are showing up and they're paying more money than the UFC, but the UFC is the prestigious place to be. And now it's no longer the champion fights the number one contender. No, the champion fights whoever's got the biggest fucking mouth and can sell the most tickets and make them the most money while they pay their guys peanuts. I mean, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, NASCAR is dealing with that. As a longtime NASCAR fan, you got to have these, I'll call them pretty boys, who can speak and represent their sponsors, and that stuff frustrates me.
Yeah, at NASCAR, my grandpa, fun fact, in the 90s, he was a partner in a collectibles store, and they had a lot of die-cast cars and a lot of racing collectibles. So I used to watch NASCAR all the time as a kid. And then I remember the restrictor plates came along. And I'm like, these are lame. You know, my grandpa
just watch F1.
My grandpa's got a Dale Earnhardt tattoo on his arm, hardcore. Yeah. And I don't watch it anymore, I'll be honest. If it's on, I might turn it on, but I don't know. I couldn't name you anybody that started after like 2014 or 15, I bet. I have no idea.
Richard Petty.
Richard Petty.
Yeah.
I turn on NASCAR at least for the end of every race.
Oh.
I still into it. I'm a Kyle Busch fan, but there's some really good racing still out there.
I always like Kevin Harvick because he was the guy that took the car after Earnhardt died.
Yeah, he's still running, and there's a young group of guys that are really talented. Kyle Larson's really good. Chase Elliott, Bill Elliott's son, is really good. So they're NASCAR's in a good place. But I still stay tuned.
I don't remember Bill Elliott being very good though.
He was a good racer.
I remember all those guys like Ricky Rudd.
I've been a Ricky Rudd fan my whole life.
Rusty Wallace. Fucking Mike was Darrell Waltrip.
Yep, DW.
Man, I remember all those guys. The fucking dude who drove the Dick Trickle.
Dick Trickle, baby.
Oh man.
Richard Petty's still the best.
Somebody had the X-Side batteries car. Who was that guy?
Jeff Bodine was in
Jeff Bodine. There you go. Yep,
yeah,
that's the guy I was thinking. Yeah, all the Jeff Gordon, of course. Everybody knows him.
Yeah, I had sent you a message a couple weeks ago. I went and saw Jackass Forever, and I had that Nagano. Is that how you say that?
Yeah, Francis Ngannou.
Dude,
it's a hard N. Ngannou. It's pretty easy.
I don't want to spoil it, but if anybody watching, if you're going to watch Jackass Forever, don't listen. But he just punches Dangerous Aaron. I mean, in the nuts. They do a cup check, dude, and it was violent. It made me hurt just watching.
Ngannou is the scariest single puncher in the world. He's horrifying. He just doesn't have a gas tank. That's why Tyson Fury will beat him. He will I wouldn't let that guy punch me. It would have to be a lot of money. He'd fucking kill you with one punch to the head.
I'll bet Fury knocks out Ngannou.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Quick.
Yeah, it's
quicker than you think.
I don't know.
Quicker than you think. Boxing's a different sport, dude.
They
it's
use
been
pillow
proven
gloves,
over and over and over.
It's a different sport.
UFC guys just don't.
Because they're mixed martial artists. They're not dedicated to one martial arts. Right.
Right. So I don't know.
The only boxer that ever had the balls to step into the UFC got choked out in a minute. He was a heavyweight champion. Tony, what was his name? His first name. Randy Couture whooped his ass. But he was the only guy. And he was talking that shit too, boy. James Toney. He's like, I'm gonna fuck him up, basically is what he's saying. No, 2 seconds into the fight, Couture takes him down and then tapped on him for a little bit and then choked him out. It was ridiculous. Yeah. But I would rather watch a UFC guy go do a boxing match than a boxer come do a UFC match, because that's how it goes for all them dudes. They get in there, they get taken down, and then they just get pounded out. At least I thought McGregor did pretty well against Mayweather. I mean, I never expected him to win, and then that's my other issue with boxing, and McGregor kind of did the same thing. I hate that a referee can stop a fight while two dudes are still on their feet. Let the corner throw in the towel. But when they called that fight off, when they stopped it, yeah, Floyd was whooping his ass. Make no mistake about it. Floyd was whooping his ass up against the ropes, but McGregor didn't go down. I don't like boxing. I hate the gigantic gloves. The big stupid pillow gloves. They all have the fastest hand speed on earth, but all they do it's one aspect, and it's only your upper body. You don't have to worry about nobody kicking you. I don't know. It's boring. It's boring to me. Boring.
But you love that Colby Covington fight.
Yeah, it's a great fight. Absolutely. A great fight. Because in that fight, in the third round, Masvidal hit him one time with the right hand. His best shot. The picture's fucking horrifying. Colby's whole face is distorted.
I watched the fight.
Colby dropped down to one knee and smiled at him. And then kept pushing it on him. And everybody's going, why didn't Masvidal go after him? Because Masvidal was tired, and Colby can go all fucking day. And that's the difference. Conditioning.
Yeah, Masvidal's old. That's why I say he's done.
He's only 3 years older than Colby is.
He's 37. He's done.
That's not that old, dude.
It's done.
It's not that old.
Done.
Glover
dude.
Teixeira just won a light heavyweight belt, and he's in his 40s. Anything can
Done.
happen. Masvidal's just a journeyman. He's been a career journeyman. His record, and he only got popular in the way that he knocked out Ben Askren. That flying knee, because Askren was going to mop the floor with him.
Trash.
Just absolutely
trash.
Askren's probably the best wrestler to ever be in MMA.
It doesn't matter how good was he versus high level UFC. How many big fights did he win?
He only had 2 fights. He only had 2. He was retired.
I'm saying, dude. Masvidal
He retired for years and then came out of retirement to go to the UFC. You can't.
Who's the last good guy that Masvidal beat?
Ooh.
Yeah. Saying.
I mean, he beat Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz is fucking old, dude. He's done. Diaz is done.
No, he's not.
Diaz is like 20-13.
Diaz is the most durable guy to ever set foot in the ring. You cannot finish Nate Diaz. You can't finish him.
13 fucking people beat him.
Yeah, but you can't finish him. We're talking about fighting. We're not talking about the sport. I'm saying Nate Diaz is the toughest fucking dude on planet Earth with the gas tank. The only reason, that's the only time he ever got stopped, and it was because the doctor stopped it because of a cut, because he has so much scar tissue on his face. But I think Masvidal was whooping his ass in that fight. There's no doubt about it. In his last fight against Leon Edwards won a decision and was whooping Diaz's ass until the 5th round, and Diaz hurt him bad. But instead of going in to finish him, he started flipping him to bird and showboat. He's just a fucking gangster, and that's why people love him. And that's why people like Jorge too, because of that. That's that type of fighter that you want to watch, because you know that that's going to be a good fight whether they win or they lose. It's just what people want to see. People don't want to watch those boring fights. Like GSP was like the most boring champion of all time. Amazing fighter, second to none. Went retired because of steroids, not because he was using them, but because he wanted better testing. And then comes back and beats Michael Bisping in a weight class he's never even fought before for a belt. I mean, GSP is another level. But I'm not hearing this old shit. Not hearing it, Pav.
Done. Toast.
What about Masvidal's done? Masvidal hasn't beat anybody really impressive. He beat Darren Till, but Darren Till was a hype train until that fight. Darren Till hasn't beat anybody in a long time. Anybody. Oh my goodness. Who's the last guy Darren Till beat? I love that we're talking MMA. Brett's like, I'm just here. Yeah, Darren Till's lost four out of his last 5.
I used to
after
watch
being
all those
undefeated.
fights.
Listen, Brett. I watched the fights this weekend. Be glad you didn't waste your money on that shit. Fucking. It wasn't. None of the fights were like.
What are you talking about? The co-main event was ridiculous. Dos Anjos beating the shit out of Moicano, who stepped up on short notice. That fight was so bad. That was the best refereeing I've ever seen in a fight. Mark Goddard, after the... Hey, this dude was getting his ass whooped so bad. His whole face was just swollen and bloody, but he took the fight on short notice. Dos Anjos' original opponent pulled out. They had a replacement in Islam Makhachev.
They put this
guy said he was going to take the fight.
It's a boxing bag, just getting his fucking face split open.
So Dos Anjos is beating him up.
Terrible.
The commentators are talking like, hey, they should probably stop this fight, or the corner should throw in the towel. That Mark Goddard brought the doctor in to look at his eye because his eye was swollen shut. The doctor says it's reasonable to stop this fight if you want, but the doctor's the guy that's supposed to stop the fight. The doctor didn't want to be the bad guy. Mark Goddard said, look, dude, he said, I'm giving you 30 seconds to do anything to show that you're still fighting, or I'm stopping the fight. As the 5th round started, I've never seen a referee say that ever.
He brought the doctor in the fucking before fucking.
After the doctor wouldn't stop it, Mark Goddard's like, hey, dude, you're gonna get some time. But anyway, that happened. We lost Brett again. I never know what he's doing, you know. Oh no, dude, those fights were good. Kevin Holland smoked Oliveira. That was great. Oliveira whooped his ass in the 1st round, and then Kevin Holland came out and knocked him out early in the 2nd. We got to see Greg Hardy get beat up, who's a fucking woman beater. I love that. Anytime you get to see that, that's a good time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's embarrassing that he's like in the sport, I guess.
Who?
Greg Hardy.
Oh yeah. Well, not really. He's a freak. He's a fucking phenomenal football player. Most of them football player guys that cross over in MMA aren't nearly as decorated as Greg Hardy was. Greg Hardy was a Pro Bowler. He was an All Pro. Like he was a stud for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's just embarrassing that you're paying this guy.
I mean, they're probably not paying him that much. He's been awful lately. Yeah, he's probably done. He's lost 3 in a row, knocked out all of them. So, he's not going to be around much longer. But the undercard was really good on that fight over the weekend. Some really good fights. But this week isn't anything crazy. This is like let's see. Oh, okay, it is on ESPN Plus. So if you have ESPN Plus, Brett, you can watch fights this weekend. And there's nobody crazy on the card. Anyway, back to football. You guys hear about Calvin Ridley?
What did he do?
Suspended for the whole year for gambling.
Pulling a Pete Rose. Not good, man. Does he deserve a full year?
No. Not at all. He was away from the team, and I don't know what he bet on, but he tweeted that he only bet $1,500. Whatever. Integrity, blah, blah, blah. I don't know if there's anything in their contract that strictly prohibits them from gambling. Get back to that Greg Hardy talk. There's a meme floating around that it speaks a ton of truth. The NFL has suspended Calvin Ridley for at minimum. It's not even like it's only a year. This is just the minimum suspension before he can ask to come back. 17 games. Zeke got 6 games for hitting a girl. Adrian Peterson got 6 games for hitting his kid. Greg Hardy got 10 games. This meme's wrong. Greg Hardy got 10 games for beating his girlfriend and got it reduced to 4 games because he actually got convicted. He was legitimately incarcerated by the law. And then Ray Rice got 2 games for beating his fiance, but nobody signed him afterwards. Kareem Hunt too, right? Kareem Hunt hit a girl. Yeah, he did. He was on the Chiefs. He was they got him in a hotel. Like on a floor of a hotel. Right. Yeah, coming off the elevator or something like that. Yeah. But the Browns picked him up, I believe. So
remember his cards were worth a fucking shit ton.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt came out of
happened.
Yeah.
And it just crashed hard.
Yep. But Calvin Ridley gets 17 games for betting on not even himself, and Josh Gordon's been out for 6 years because he smokes weed. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They don't hold these fucking woman beaters accountable because they're useful talents. But if you want to smoke some weed or bet when you're not around, while everybody on planet Earth is pumping out sports books nowadays, gambling is all the rage. Oh, we're going to suspend you for that forever. Ruin your whole career. I don't know. Pav, what were you had seen, you said something about you saw some conspiratorial footage.
I'm just saying of Calvin Ridley looking like maybe he was throwing a few plays.
Interesting.
Like on breakaway, there's one video, you guys can search this out. I'm sure you'll see it. Like if you look it up, but where he's got, he catches a ball and he's breaking away. He's out in front of the defenders. All he has to do is keep running, and it's a touchdown. And he cut back and fucking ran parallel. I don't know, man. It's interesting to say the least.
It is interesting, but I haven't seen any of that. I probably won't even look. Like I said, it's March. I just want to know what's going on with baseball. That's all I want to know. So yeah, we got that suspended all the games. Ray Rice, bigger bases, terrible. Contenders football tomorrow. College baseball. I didn't get time to even check in on college baseball, but I wanted to. I wanted to do some college baseball talk since we don't have regular baseball.
You guys see the NFT, the Mickey Mantle?
Oh yeah, Brett. What do you know about that bad boy?
Yeah, I forgot how much of that self
was it. $470.
It was
Yeah.
a lot. Yeah, it was a big number.
$470,000 for the Mickey Mantle 52 NFT. It's nuts.
That is
Absolutely
crazy.
nuts. I knew it was going to be stupid money. I was surprised when we were sitting here doing the podcast and you said it was only like under 10 grand or something. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
how the fuck?
470K, man. Unreal. That's
Yes.
wild.
It's pretty interesting that it topped the highest selling NBA Top Shots. So that's pretty interesting for them for tops.
Does basketball have a legendary card like that though? I agree that it's interesting, but is there, you know what I mean? Is the Mickey Mantle the most iconic baseball card,
Now it is.
is it Hannes Wagner?
No, it's the Mickey Mantle.
Yeah,
I would say if we saw a PSA 10 Mantle hit the market, that we could be looking at maybe 30 million.
Man.
I wonder when the last time one was actually sold, a PSA 10. I think there's only 3 or something. But like those PSA 9s are doing fucking 3 million, you know? So you got to think the PSA 10 is probably up there.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
Jerry Seinfeld's car. Did you guys see this?
I didn't.
So there's a really cool website I like to watch all the time called Bring a Trailer. And there is an auction right now for a car that was owned by Jerry Seinfeld, a Porsche Carrera GT, which is like, if you know fucking cars, it's one of the most fantastic cars ever made, dude. It's fucking amazing. But dude, it's pretty incredible what some of this stuff is pushed nowadays. But this thing's gonna sell for over 2 million.
I don't have money like that, Pav.
It's crazy, dude. It's crazy.
I don't even have money like that to even look at it. I'll go into debt just looking at the screen. I'm good. I don't need it.
I'm telling you, if you ever watched it, you got to watch comedians in cars getting coffee. It's pretty good.
I don't know if we've discussed this yet. In hobby news, CSG, who I'm an authorized dealer for, but that's not why I'm bringing it up. They're like the newest news in the card grading world. They have a fully functional population report now, and they can you can look up your card, or they actually have a web, like on their website you can actually click through by sport, by year, by product. You can actually like click around. You don't just have to look up a serial number and see, you know, but you can actually click around. I'll pull it up. It's actually worth looking at. In audio people, we're at an hour and 38 minutes. But this is how CSG's new population report is. So when you start, it just has sports cards. It shows you the sport, and it shows you how many total cards they've actually graded, and it has everything that they've graded ever. And so, like, if we click on baseball, it's got it by time frame. So we'll just go to 2018, and then or look at this. It has it from 2010. So here they break it down by every individual set that they've graded any card from. That's actually really cool. So instead of doing that, we'll just search the sets in the decade. Let's go 2018 tops update. Or maybe we don't even need to do tops, just update. Okay, well, that doesn't seem to work. Tops update. There we go. So they have graded 3,421 cards from the 2018 update set. I so see that update Soto. Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? Where's it at? feel like I should know his number.
I should too. I can't remember.
Yeah, I thought it was. I wanted to say it was 85. I'm wrong. Otani. Oh, 300. Update 300. So there's 9. So bang right here. They have actually graded 9 as a 10.
What's it? Yeah, what's that show?
Oh, and then it breaks it down by the subgrades. There's 3 of them that were graded with subgrades, and 6 of them are graded with no subgrades. Look at that. They actually give you the fucking details. That's really cool.
That is really cool.
No perfect 10s though. They've all been off by half a grade in one way or another. Maybe I should send some of my ding corner PSA 10s into.
Does HGA have a pop report?
No,
I didn't think so.
no.
You
The
gotta
only
have a pop report.
CSG, SGC, Beckett, and PSA, to my
That's
knowledge,
it.
are the
Wow.
only 4 that have a fully functional pop report. And I've just been skipping around this since it came out. It hasn't been available very long. It's pretty neat. They even have cricket. They've graded 34 cricket cards. It's wild. Multi-sport, MMA, hockey, golf, racing, wrestling, tennis, soccer, rugby. We got 2 graded rugby cards. Crikey. So that's it's good news. And like I said, firmly believe they're part of the future. They're tied in with Fanatics in a roundabout way. Fanatics owns Tops. I mean, what? Think a few steps ahead. Everybody's so afraid. PSA or Beckett. HGA. I'm sorry.
I
I
actually think
don't know if HGA is gonna be here for the long haul. The farther we get into it, the less I have any belief system in their artificial. Like, the thing that they said they were doing to make them unique is not what it's not. I just don't feel like it's. I don't buy into it. They've done multiple walkthrough videos, and then in the most recent one they did, I think they even said that they give their people the authority to override the AI, which is getting shit on by some people anyway in terms of how they look into the cards. So it's like they wanted to explain how they grade the cards and why they grade them the way they do, but none of it makes sense. And then you give the human element to just override everything. So what are you doing? You just fucking, you have a big fancy scanner and you're calling it AI technology, and I don't know. I sent cards to them before they ever got super crazy, before they ever implemented any type of queue system. I got my experience with them, and I don't know. They have a backlog. They're trying to clear a backlog, they say, but company like CSG just launched a pop report, and they're having their turnaround times are so fast. Even for bulk, you can grade a card for $12 and get it back in like 3 or 4 months. It's not bad at all.
I on a personal note, I've never graded cards with them, but I think they're pretty close to breaking through. Just one, you've said this many times, their slabs feel great and they're clear and they look amazing.
CSG?
Yeah.
The slabs are ridiculously clear. I mean, it's nuts. It really is.
I think the one thing I would like to see out of them, well, there's 2 things. That thing looks sharp.
Just the plastic is all I want you, not the card. And it is a green refractor. It's actually a very awesome card. But just like in between where the card and the label is, you can see my eyeballs. Like, that's how clear the plastic is. Until you hold one of these in your hand, it's a shocker.
They're crystal clear.
My biggest bitch with them is, and I won't do it. I won't grade a card with them without subgrades. If you get this card without subgrades, it takes so much away from the label. Like, it looks bad. It makes so much blank space on the label. They don't look good. So
I would like to see them work on the label, make it a little more eye appealing. That would be the first thing. And
I don't think they will because of how far they're into it. Has any grading company ever changed their label? Like PSA did with their like fugitive technology, but that was like a security thing more so than anything else.
I could see CSG changing their labels. They've done
I wouldn't
some
be
other
against
stuff
it.
with their labels from like with the coin grading. They do a few different things, so I could see them
Sure.
kind of doing the same thing with us with
I didn't mean to
their
cut you off,
baseball
Brett.
card
No,
labels later.
that's all right.
Go ahead, buddy.
Just something a little more eye appealing to me. And then just relax a tiny bit on the harshness because they do grade tough.
That's what I've heard, and I want to say this because this is an absolute shocker to me. I'm getting ready to send out a bulk sub, a group sub. We already put the mail-in cutoff in, so nobody can mail anything out. It's going out at the end of this week. When I sent the last sub, it was like 167 days, business days turnaround time. Their bulk, and they've been talking about they've been making posts about how they have this new fucking process where they're just whipping through shit. And it's not because they don't have cards, because last month in February, they were second in all companies in terms of total number of cards graded. They were behind PSA. SGC was third, Beckett was fourth. So their turnaround time on bulk right now is 45 days. That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that's impressive.
And we sent our bulk in, and like I said, it said 160 days. And mind you, these are all working days. So that's 20 days out of every 28 days. You know, so it's not every month you lose 8 to 10 days. So we sent our bulk sub in October, I think October 9th, and we got it back last month. Like we got it back in 4 months. So that was only 120 days total. So we got it back way faster than we ever thought. But their top tier service is 3 days. Their top two services are 3 days. Express, which is only $60 a card, is 7 days. Their standard is $30 a card, 15 days turnaround. I mean, that's ridiculous. Economy, which is good for cards up to $500, is only $20 a card, 25 days. It's a month. You get your cards back every month. That's awesome. And those change. Like every time you look, it changes. But I've never seen the bulk under 100 days. That's incredible.
They're hiring graders right now.
Yeah, they're taking all. I'm gonna be that asshole that sits here and tells you I told you so when you refuse to get on the CSG train, because it's fucking coming. Whether you, like I said, I have issues with their label. Without subgrades, they look fucking terrible. That plastic is immaculate. I don't know why any other company doesn't have plastic. It's so nice. It's so fucking nice. It's great plastic. And like literally they have something on their website somewhere. The holder and label. It's in their first tab. And like I saw all this stuff. I'm going to share the screen again for the audio people. We're at 1 hour and 47 minutes. But just when I want to get off this page. I want to reload it again. But just when you go here, holder and label, they come out with the bright lights. The CSG holder and label combined enhanced security features with crystal clear optics and the most advanced archival materials for the best display and protection. I read all this before I did it. I didn't even look at any of this. I didn't pay attention to like any of these things. And then when I actually got one in my hands, I'm like, holy shit. They're not lying. So then they explain everything. Bold, easy to read, and secure certification on the label. They have the fucking hologram, the QR code on the back, the number, the auto grade. It's all on the back of it, so it's fits more sizes of thick cards than any other sports card grading service. So, I mean, they can do the thickest cards you got. I mean, I'm not selling them to anybody, and I've said that since the beginning. I'm here to help you if you want to use them. But I'm telling you, they're going to be a top tier company moving forward. The thing right now is, my advice to anybody, if you have CSG slabs, do not auction them on eBay. Don't do it. You're killing yourself if you do that. Set a price and stick to your guns. They're quality. It's quality. There's people that hate them though too. Like the guy that runs the local shows around here, Bobby Lucas. He hates CSG because they lost his order or something like that. I mean, shit happens.
Man.
I get it. I don't know how big of an order it was, and I don't know any of it. I don't know any of the details, but anybody could hate a company because the company did them wrong. It's how they fixed a mistake is that's how I run my business anyway. I can't avoid all mistakes, but when I make a mistake, if you bring it to my attention, I'll do everything I can to fix it. Especially if we clearly fucked up. I'm never going to hide from that. But I've just been super impressed, and then with this news of them coming out with the registry, the pop reports, you can look all this stuff up. The news, since now that they have the pop report, you can take it month over month, and you can track how there's some Twitter accounts that are dedicated to doing this. You can track based on how the population reports change in the registry, how many cards these companies are grading every month, and they're making strides, man. They're making strides. I don't know. I don't know. I like them. I liked them because of how tough they were. Because I was so sick and tired of getting shitty PSA 10 cards, and I'm not shitting on PSA. They serve a purpose. All these companies serve a purpose. I was so tired of selling PSA cards and having the customers or the potential customers ask me for better pictures of the card. What do you mean it's already a graded card? This company graded it. Go ask PSA for better pictures. If the card's graded and I paid for this service, I don't need to take those four corner shots anymore when I'm selling you. I'm not trying to sell you a raw card. I'm selling you a fucking PSA 10. But the problem is, a PSA 10, depending on a grader, could be a PSA 6 too. And I'm not afraid to say that. There's some fucked up PSA 10s out there, and everybody knows it. The skeletons are flying out of the closet when they said that if PSA was actually able to accurately grade every card they've ever graded at that certain point in time, they would have to grade a card a second around the clock since the beginning of their existence, or whatever that stat was. It was wild. So that just tells you, like, hey, you know, all you can do from that point on is be better. PSA can't, nor I don't think they would ever even address it. They don't have to. But they can, if they're smart and they got the right people in their fucking meeting room, they go, hey, the jig's up. We got to be better now. How do we be better? Work from there. I don't know what those steps are, but that's what you got to do. I just like what's going on, and like I was always surprised SGC didn't take over during the boom, and the new companies got to come in and steal some of their shine. But when the dust settles, I don't know. I don't know. Like HGA, I don't know what their future is. I like them more out of the gate than I do now. And it's not that I think they've done anything like egregious. I just don't like how they've tried to deliver on the things they said. I don't know. I really don't. People
I
really
think it's
love.
hard when you're that small, starting out, and you're trying to compete against these companies that are really big and already have such a huge market share. That like in
They don't.
it's easy to dream big, and it's a lot harder to put together the plan to actually,
But
make those dreams come to fruition.
they were getting. It's not like there's any shortage of people sending them cards. My issue is I just don't think they're delivering on. I still don't know what their AI technology is. They've already said that they've given the authority to override it. So what are your fucking parameters for grading your card? When you start out, all you have is your fucking credibility. And if you come into the space without credibility, like who was that guy before he was a card grading company owner? CSG came in with a fucking long pedigree of grading anything, grading things. So I don't know. I don't know where this is going.
There's an issue with like the idea of an AI grading system anyway, because unless the manufacturer of the cards is giving you an example of here's what a perfect card should be. Here's the measurement specifications. This is a perfect card. This
Well, I
is
think
what
that's grading in general.
right. But I mean, what I'm saying is, if unless you had a perfect card, that there's no set for the idea that they have an AI that's supposed to pick what a 10 is. How does it? Who sets? Okay, here's the parameters for a 10, and then when you have new cards, new styles every year, all these different kinds, it's got to be really tough for them to build and reprogram these. So I don't know. I was always a little bit fishy to me. So I think like the idea that they've told I think from the start that the graders probably had the last say on what was given to each card.
Yeah. And I don't know who they have in their camp that's an authority in grading cards. You have to have somebody with credibility. I mean, I would like to assume that they do, but I don't have any time for them. So let all the hype beasts, fucking TikTok breakers, and all those fucking clown shows go send their cards there and get their goofy little labels. Whatever.
It's pretty interesting that the CSG bulk is still an option and it's that fast. I don't see PSA coming back with bulk for quite a while.
No, and I'm floored by seeing that. I haven't started the next group message for the next sub, but like Pav, I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, but I'll just text you since you're not with the rest of us. Nedberg was running his mouth this week, wanting to know where you were at.
Hey, I might be back. There's been a little bit of headway, but if I don't get it figured out pretty soon, I'll make a new account. Whatever the fuck, I don't care.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see that because then that's basically 2 months, start to finish. We send these cards out here next month, and even at 45 days turnaround time, it's still 2 months total. We'll have them back in May. We'll have them back before they're playing big league ball.
I'd like to buy some baseball cards. That's what I think about. Is like, when I think about getting back into Facebook, it's just going to be baseball cards. Yeah. I don't even think I'm gonna like my real life friends. They're gonna fucking hate me because I won't be accepting any of their friend requests. They'll see me on there like, what the fuck, dude? I'm like, well, I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to deal with baseball cards.
That's hilarious.
He's in 1,000 baseball card groups.
I'll tell you, it was like the nicest thing. It was like the nicest thing ever for the last few years because the politics, like Facebook, when Facebook was first coming out, right? It was like, okay, cool. We could see pictures of what our friends are doing and all this shit. And, and then people started complaining about people posting pictures of their food and shit. And like, it got past that where it was like, okay, now I'm not going to complain about your food anymore. I'm going to complain about your ideals, your politics, and all this shit. So everybody just like decided that they could hate each other like in the open. So I don't know. It turned into this big old fucking hate fest, and everybody's in a competition to see who can be the biggest victim. So it's like, I don't want to fucking. The last few years have been really nice because as I got into the baseball card groups, my page was more and more just baseball cards. It was a lot more enjoyable.
Sure. But then even at that, you get so many social media card experts.
They're all I fucking hate people.
If you're listening, though, we love you. That's all you need to know. Pav loves you, too.
Brad loves you. He's got enough love for everybody.
I do. Here's my thing. I agree with everything you said, Pav, because the problem is I don't know why people want to look at, associate with, give energy to, or dedicate any time to anything that makes them unhappy. So people see this shit on the internet and they get offended and triggered and this and that. Do something else. It's on the internet. It's not even fucking real. It's in the space somewhere and it popped up on your screen. Put your fucking screen down and go do something you like. Because there's something for everybody to like out there. And just because you see something you don't like, if whoever that person is doing that thing you don't like isn't breaking any laws or harming anybody, who gives a shit? They're doing what makes them happy. Leave them the fuck alone. Like, society got way too comfortable with being in everybody's business. It's a gigantic problem. Mind your own fucking business. My kid's the nosiest kid on earth. Kid, mind your business.
Kills me like fucking Brett's video. You get these people commenting on there about the fucking corner.
Oh,
what a bunch of fucking jackwagons, dude.
It's like, dude, yeah.
I can't imagine what those people are like in real life, It's like, holy fuck, dude.
Miserable people, man. That's what's like, I don't understand why you want, like, Why? Okay, this dude just pulled a fucking arguably 6-figure baseball card, and your big takeaway is look at the corner. Yeah.
It's
Fuck
like,
you.
dude,
Fuck you. Like, fuck you. Anybody who's got shit to say about that bottom right corner on Brett's card, fuck you. Period. You're an idiot. Nobody gives a shit about that fucking corner. It's going to sell for a shit ton of money, and it came out of the box just like that.
Yeah.
You can literally pause Brett's video before it ever touches a penny sleeve and see that that corner is not ideal.
No. Sorry,
So-
Brett. Brett, those guys aren't gonna fucking bid on your card, dude.
Yeah, sorry.
They're out of the bidding, man.
Sorry. Yeah,
You're
they
fucked.
probably don't even know what a buyer's premium is.
no.
Fucking
Oh,
internet trolls. That's just their way.
I'm pumped to see when that gets graded, though. It's on its way.
Yeah, we gotta know. We gotta know. Gotta tell me.
Yeah,
We'll tweet it out on the podcast at UG Runaround Pod on Twitter. Shoot us a tweet. Let us know what you think Brett's card's gonna grade. And if you guys listen to this and you guys make enough noise on Twitter, I'll give something away. I thought about doing that this week. I just didn't figure out a good way to implement it into the podcast. Do some Twitter giveaways and stuff. I'm sorry, friends, but as it is right now, I can't run an Instagram, a Facebook group, I can't run a whole nother set of social medias for the podcast. I can do a Twitter. That's about it. So if you want to interact with us, get on Twitter. We'll interact with you all day long. But yeah, if you want to take a guess, all you fucking corner fucks, even if you're one of them who I told to get lost, if you want to guess, you might win something. I'm not an asshole. I just don't like idiots. I have a short fuse for ignorance. I have no problem explaining, helping, educating, or learning myself because I'm super curious. But if you just want to be negative, if you just want to say something to say it, I don't have any patience for that shit. So don't be a loser. Be happy. And if you don't like what I'm saying to you right now, if that's making you unhappy, turn the fucking podcast off. Just do that. And have a good day. Have a great life, I had somebody block me on Facebook today. Got an Aaron Rodgers debate. I was telling you. And I looked at the dude. He was a luxury real estate agent at a company of his own name. So I'm on the stair stepper, sweating my ass off because I've had these allergies. I haven't been to the gym in a few days. I went to the gym. I was pouring sweat out. Like something about when you go in there after a couple days off, you sweat more. I don't know I sweat more. So I'm pouring sweat, going around in circles with this guy. Like every argument he makes, I have just a logical statement to make. And I'm not even mad at this guy. I'm really good at talking people into circles. Like right now. I don't need 100 things and a fact checker, and I'm pretty sharp. So I got tired of doing this. I'm like, listen, guy, if you're not gonna concede, we're gonna do this all day. I'm going to continue to go in a circle. So I just suggest you go sell a really nice house. You get a big old fat commission check. I typed I'm like, can you just have a good day, man? And he fucking blocked me before I could even comment it. Like, wow. People, even this big fancy real estate guy has the same problems. Right. Like, why is this guy blocking me? Like, I'm trying to tell him to have a good day and whatever, man. I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get people. Internet people though is the thing. People you meet in real life are great for the most part, especially down in Pav's Village. Pav's got the happy village of people. They're all nice.
No, I went to a bachelor party this past weekend, and there's a kid there that he's staying in Maryland, right by Washington D.C. And he's like, "Holy fuck, dude! I cannot wait to move back to Indiana." And I'm like, "Oh yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, dude, the people are so much nicer." I'm like, "Yeah, dude." Between me and you, them East Coast people, they really don't give a fuck about you.
I don't know, man. I went to Boston right before Christmas. That was the first time I ever. I didn't get recognized, and I don't think that's it. But like my server, we went to this. I forget the name of the place, but it was like a fresh oyster bar, like right there in the downtown area of Boston, like right by the harbor, and the dude was into cards, and I was wearing an Underground hoodie because my thing is if I have my own brand, why would I wear anyone else's brand? As I'm sitting up here wearing a someone else's brand. And so I'm out, and this guy's like, "Oh, you do sports cards or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And I like name dropped the dude out there, Chris Costa. Shout out to Chris Costa. Uh, that guy's huge now. But he's like, "Oh yeah, Costa Cards." He's like, "Yeah, I know him." And the next thing I know, it's me, my buddy I went to Boston with. We went to go see a concert, and then his friend from college who lives in Connecticut, which wasn't that far away, like a 40-minute drive or something. So he's the one who's taking us around Boston. And the next thing I know, after me and this guy bullshit with cards, we got like 4 free plates of food, like showing up with these different types of. He's like, "This is all the best shit from me." He's like, "You gotta try this and this and that." I'm like, "This is the coolest shit." That was like the most hospitality I've ever experienced. So like, I left that dude a ridiculous tip. Like, this is the shit. I'm like, "Thanks, buddy." I wrote all over the receipt. I was pretty lit too. We'd been around drinking all day. This dude's fuck. I never had oysters either. That was my first like real oyster experience. So I'm like, we're going to the East Coast, dude. I got to get some real like ocean seafood. I've worked with enough people from around the world in the trades and stuff that the consensus is, the cold water seafood's better than warm water seafood. I don't know if anyone has a preference, but I never had them oysters before. They were all right. I had a clam too. Is that the other thing? There's oysters and something else you eat out of a shell. Raw. It was a raw bar. Oysters.
I'm the wrong guy to be talking about that, man. Midwest steak and potato.
The other ones tasted like a fucking lake water. It was disgusting. It was some sort of. It wasn't an oyster. It was the other thing. People will know, and they're gonna light me up in the comments when you hear it. But it was fucking disgusting. They're like, "Yeah, we recommend these for the first time people." It literally tasted like dirty lake water. If you've ever gotten water in your mouth, swimming in a lake with a lot of salt. It's like a margarita, lake water margarita with no alcohol in it. Just shitty animal juice. It was weird, real weird. Oysters and shit.
Are they small?
It was in a shell.
Well, I mean, there's clams, there's mussels, there's all sorts.
It wasn't a mussel. It might have been a clam. I don't know. It was awful though. The oysters weren't bad. A couple of them were pretty good, and then they had like this other shit you put on them, like I don't know. I win in Rome. You know what I mean? It's just broadening my horizons. But the East Coast treated me good because that's all you hear is like, especially Boston, like, "Oh, they're just a bunch of assholes out there." Just a bunch of snow shoveling assholes because that's all I get out there. And it's like, yeah, Philly. I'm like, these people were great to me. We talked about sports cards, and I ate like free food and had some good drinks. I don't know.
That's the trick. I'll tell my buddy he needs to get in the sports cards.
Yeah, just wear sports cards. They like them out there. So shout out to the East Coast. We're not dogging on you. We just heard. We got any more stories? Anything else we got to cover? We got to wrap this thing up.
I've got nothing, man.
Nothing. Brett, what do you think you're going to get for your card?
I just have this gut feeling around 50.
Nope, 100 grand.
I hope.
I hope too. Do you have any do you have any idea when it's even going to go to auction, or just not until after it's graded?
No, I sent him an email like, "Hey, do you have any idea?" And he said, "Well, it's at grading now, and then once we get it back, we'll kind of determine." So, don't have a timeline at this point.
Gotcha. No worries.
Up in the air.
Just curious.
There's another Wander 1 of 1 up on eBay right now.
Which one is it?
It's the what is that, like the silver pack, maybe? The 87 tops.
Is it the Superfractor?
Yeah.
Is it auto or not?
Non-auto.
Okay, yeah, we saw it get pulled, or like we knew it was out there because the super of that card got pulled too, but it's a redemption. So,
I need to put that on my watch list. See what it goes for.
I'll have to check that out.
If it even sells.
Yeah, they got a starting bid of 105. So hopefully it goes for you. That give you a good baseline.
That would be sweet.
That would be sweet.
Your card looks a lot better. I think they got a better picture on yours. For sure.
Pat, have you got anything else, man?
Uh, if you're watching your retirement funds, don't watch them. Don't watch the stock market. Don't do any of those things. Don't buy gas. Don't drive anywhere. Just
It's brutal, man. I'm driving out to South Carolina for spring break. That'll be a decent chunk.
It's
oh
not.
man.
I mean, it sucks. Listen, I don't want to make light of gasoline prices. But even if gas prices went up $1 from whatever they were when you were comfortable with whatever price they were at, and you have a 20-gallon tank, it's only $20 extra to fill your car up. It's not like it's some fucking back-breaking number where it went up 7 million%. I've never understood that with gas prices.
Look at this.
And
This guy's rich.
before anybody says this rich shit, I used to work 3 jobs the last time gas got stupid, and it was $4.35 at the marina, or at the gas station across the street from the marina I worked at. And I drove a truck that got like 13 miles to the gallon, and I worked 3 jobs. I was a 3-time college dropout, and the most I made at one job was like $11 an hour. So I made it through those times. Right now, I don't give a fuck about gas. That shit could hit $10 a gallon. I'm filling my shit up, but I also don't drive anywhere right now though either. I don't. I walk about 50 steps from my bedroom down here to my office, and then I drive my car to the gym and to the bank and wherever I need to go. But I don't do a lot of driving. So
The thing that always kills me is like, do you remember during the pandemic they had where oil dropped below zero, right? They were paying people to take
just so they could keep running it.
Right, because it costs more to shut it down than to keep running.
Right,
it.
exactly. I understand all of that. That's like my trade.
What always kills me is, yeah. Do you remember the gas prices at that point in time? It's not like they fucking plummeted.
No, yeah, the gas prices didn't go to 99 cents like they were when we were kids.
And it always kills me, like when you see something like that and it goes down like that, and you talk to them and like, well, it's out in the future. That's the future prices. And then as soon as oil skyrockets, the price of the pump just goes boom, flips the switch. Somebody's getting rich. That's what it means.
And if I'm not mistaken, just the reserves the U.S. keep is enough for 5 years worth of consumption for the entire country. I think that's what it is. So like that's just what we have in case everything goes bad. It was a pretty staggering number. What I read.
Open up the fracking.
So it's we have no control over that. I guess that's my big thing. I'm at this point in my life where I finally fully understood when everybody always told you control the things you can control. We have no control of what's going on overseas. We have no control at the gas pump. Don't let that shit bring you down. Like if you're barely making enough money to make ends meet and that's your tipping point, I'm sorry, it fucking sucks. It really does. I feel for you. I come from absolutely nothing. I'm at the point in my life where I can enjoy myself a little bit, and I still have debt, so I'm not rich. Not at all. I have plenty of debt. Don't, but if you're buying Starbucks coffees and you're spending fucking $80 a night at the bar after work, I don't want to hear your shit. I don't want to see your stupid fucking memes. I don't want to see that Arabian dude all blinged out that we've been seeing all over the internet because the gas prices are up.
I'm an asshole. I want to see Starbucks take a big fucking hit.
I would love to. Fuck Starbucks.
They haven't. They're one of the companies that hasn't pulled out of Russia.
They don't ever do anything. Yeah.
So I hope they, all those fucking yuppie motherfuckers that go get their Starbucks coffee every fucking morning.
Dude, you got no idea down there in the village. Holy cow. The line around the Starbucks by me in the morning is just ridiculous. It's just like, are you guys really that fucking lazy that you're willing to wait in line for 20 minutes in a drive-thru to get coffee than just make a fucking pot at home? Like, and it would be one thing if you could just drive through, like real fast, but it's a fucking line. Like a long line where you have to designate time in your commute to wait there for your fucking $12 coffee juice. Get out of here. Are you kidding? I'm not waiting in line and paying that type of money. It's one or the other, and I really don't want to do either of them. So, Pav's back, even though he never actually left. So, now we have two Pavs on camera. That's a first. That one's got to go. And it's just wild, man. I don't know. Coffee, bar, it sucks you might have to cut down on some of your luxurious spending, I guess, so to speak. But it'll all work itself out. The point is just control what you can control, friends. Don't let these things you cannot control ruin your day. The only thing I can't control that ruins my day is fucking Bozo Bob, and he's been doing it for many years. So that's nothing new to me. I try and manage that, I guess. And I don't think we have any new baseball updates. I've been hounding Twitter this whole time hoping for a break. But we haven't got anything since the last round we've talked about. So unless any of you other gentlemen have anything else, man, I think this would be a good time to wrap it up.
I got nothing. I'm ready for bed.
Yeah. All right, friends. Well, everybody, like I said, if you check this whole thing out, get on Twitter at UG Runaround Pod and tell us what you think Brett's card. Tell us what you think about Brett's card. What do you think it's going to grade? What do you think it's going to go for? Just anything. Get on Twitter, interact with us a little bit. The numbers, the plays, the downloads, all of those things have done real well. All the analytics we can track. We're just lacking the engagement. So get out there and engage with us, friends. Like I said, I'm sorry I can't run a million other socials. I got them all for my business, and I hate doing social media. I'm with these guys. I'd rather just not be a part of it. But it's how I signed up to run a business. That's the beauty of social media. It really does connect the world. But there's plenty of people that don't use it the way it's probably intended to be used. And that's where you get the internet.
Wasn't
trolls.
it supposed to be like a bunch of naked chicks? Wasn't that what we were promised when this first started?
Promised. Yes, if you create another account here at Facebook and not MySpace, we will give you all the unstringed bikini photos you could ever want to see. I don't know.
Underground OnlyFans coming soon.
Oh my goodness, you guys couldn't handle it. You couldn't handle it because it wouldn't be anything you'd expect. Oh, you want to watch this break? In my hand, little man. You know what I mean? Let's go. Pay me.
Was it the ASMR, dude? That's what you're starting, I thought.
Yeah, you know it.
Oh, my God.
That's the next.
You don't even know. You could be a millionaire right now.
ASMR case breaks. OnlyFans ASMR card breaks.
And you're paying Lana Rhodes to break the cards for you.
Brett, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no idea who that is.
Well.
But you guys like that? Oh, you want me to cut open these top loaders? Oh, yeah, you like that, didn't you? You know what I mean? Just fucking talk dirty to them.
Big money. Big money.
If them fucking backyard assholes can fucking still rip people off and make millions of dollars, I'm sure there's definitely a market for weirdo card breaks.
Yeah.
So.
I don't want to go on to all about the whatever the backdoor boys they called whatever, but I would like to start a Facebook page, like a scammers page, only for them, because I've seen in a few places that there are people reporting that they're not getting their high-end cards shipped to them from those guys. I want to know if that's true. I'd like to know how many people have not gotten cards from them when they've been pulled.
I don't know, but if you ever found out information on that, I'd raise hell. I told them dudes on site, so I hope I run into them one day. On site. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm telling you right now, if those dudes ever make a public fucking appearance, I'm just going to go up there and start talking shit. Because guess what? You could block somebody on the internet, but when you're face-to-face, dude, what are you going to do? You're going to hear everything I have to say. And you're going to be fucking scum, and I'm going to tell you you're scum. And all you're ever going to be is scum. So you can have all the money and whatever you want, but like, I mean, dude, you still got to be accountable. You get fucking gigantic sacks of shit. Those are loser, worthless human beings, and there's no way you could change my mind to that. And the
Can't
fact that
believe
people
are still breaking with them.
that's what kills me. That's what hurts me. It hurts me to know that. And not that I care that how people spend their money. It's the fact that you would even like you must not know what they did to still want to give them money. There's and not just for me. There's so many other good businesses out there that people that taken 18 months to ship their cards, like what we've been hearing, and people like that. How? Why? Why? I don't know, man. It's awful. It's awful. But anyway, get on Twitter. Engage with us. We might give away some stuff. And tell me if you like how I open this pack of top loaders. You might just win a signed top loader from your boy. Ooh, this one too.
You just gained 3,000 followers.
That'd be fucking amazing. I'll do this all day long. I just do this. You guys fucking go. The people's fucking just having a field day. Oh, I love the way that plastic sounds. Yeah. Yes, sir. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. You guys have a great one.
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.